What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, November 19th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all. I hope you're doing well after this release and this lunar eclipse energy that's changing the slide in our relationship to self and our values. It's so important in these times. We haven't gotten this eclipse in a long time, since 2003. So it's a big upgrade for us. We need it. I feel like we can still be kind of stubborn, and that's kind of the glitch, is that as a collective we're so stubborn in these values that we don't want to let go of. We want to hold on super tight. And I'll be honest, with Venus being the dispositor of that lunar eclipse in Taurus and meeting in a trine with Uranus today, coming to 12 degrees of Capricorn, there are new ways forward that we don't know yet, and we have to give things a shot. We have to go out and try and build something. We have to go be reliable for ourselves. We have to trust ourselves, but we have to be willing to take a shot in the dark, if you will. It's kind of like new ways forward are the ways that are going to take you the highest. And maybe we're feeling that inspiration today. Maybe we're feeling that we can make pivots in life that are still progressing us to the top, still taking us further, while simultaneously rearranging and revaluing our relationship to self and what that means for how we can create. So there's something special about today, and we're coming off that big eclipse energy, and the moon's going to come into Gemini, and it's going to be with the North Node today. So it's almost uncomfortable. It's like there's uncomfortable truths that we've been bringing up in Scorpio season that we've had to understand within ourselves, and especially with that sun at 28 degrees. It's like it's a manifestation day. So we're really almost coming into instant form of our truest deep self and how to make manifestation take place. Remember, a month from now, Venus is going to go retrograde with Pluto in Capricorn at 26 degrees. So that's going to be on December 19th. So, we're a month away from a Venus retrograde that is literally stamping and transforming the way we value so much of our own goals, what it is in society that we want, what's the ladder going to look like. It's a big deal. And we have to know our worth in these times and have our truth aligned. And I think that's where it can be uncomfortable, is sometimes the truth isn't comfortable. Sometimes, getting into the deeper places of what you really do desire and want to manifest can be a little uncomfortable, because it's like we have to take these new roads and go higher and try different things to get what those desires might be or where they're shifting in life. So it's definitely a day of a lot of change can be felt, instant change after that lunation. And I think the curiosity and the youthfulness of the change is it is so important, and we don't want to be too stubborn. And I kind of started this off with some of that stubborn energy. We can't be stubborn with Mars coming off in opposition to Uranus, and Mars and Venus in sextile, with Venus trining Uranus. This is where we try something completely out of the normal. Really the unconventional route is the way that is going to liberate yourself to the strongest version of yourself, the most reliable version of yourself that we're coming into. And it's like so much can show up, so much can start happening quick and fast. That youthful energy will get you through it today, and being able to throw something out there to the universe that you want to manifest, or that you want to relate to, or that how you can relate to yourself. Those are the ones, and they might not stick. That's the crazy thing, is we have to be okay and accepting that not everything might stick right now. We're still in this process. It's slow going, as these values transform, as society is transforming. We have to be willing to try things. We have to be willing to do things that could take us farther, but maybe they won't. And that's okay. It's part of the experiment of life. And I think the more comfortable we can be in our own life's experiment with trying what is taking our life to a higher place, taking us to a top shelf place. Yeah, we're going to have Mercury coming off the trine over to Neptune. It's going to start squaring Jupiter in Aquarius. This is our higher mind, our lower mind kind of meeting at this sharp junction point today and tomorrow. And it's we have to be willing to explore the deeper layers of ourselves. We have to be willing to connect to our deeper truths and not be scared of what we see there, but look and be like, does this really, like, is this part of my vision for the future? Is this part of how I really want to connect to people? And I think that's where people are important too, with Venus and trine to Uranus. You know, we can't forget about people. And I know I've been hammering home, like, do it on your own lately, because there is a need. I'm sorry it's so loud. They're mowing the grass out here. Beautiful place though. There's a need to take relationships to that next level based on independent self-reliance. So we have to kind of like explore new ways and new depths within our mind and in crazy radical ways, so that we can have some expanse, and so that we can have these visions that can have a deeper understanding, or that can take us farther, or a deeper understanding of our own mental desires and passions and what that means for who we're connecting to. So I think that there's definitely, and I would say that going into the depth is where the goodness is right now, especially with Mercury working on a sextile to Pluto and the sun coming off a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn right now. Like, there's something about this penetrating essence that if we can understand that, we can expand. But it's not so much about the hope of doing it, it's actually about the physical change that this eclipse is bringing in, and that even a moon in Gemini is kind of having us get ready to make a pivot or a change for. And maybe we don't have to change that much. Maybe it's just little tweaks here and there. Maybe it's not about the speedy quickness, although this moon in Gemini could bring up some speedy quickness that we want to just, let's go handle the truth, let's go handle the business, let's do the blah blah. Go deeper than maybe just the surface, and be curious for that and see what can open up. I feel like chambers in our mind are just, it's almost like psychedelics in some way. And I'm saying be grounded, but yes, there's a grounded essence, but it's almost like there's chambers opening up in our mind to help us connect to different aspects of ourself that want to help us. You could call these guides, you could call these your higher self, that are trying to show us the way to manifest, create, and make the right pivots that make the most sense. And it's not even just about the hope or the belief, it's like that this actually does make sense in my life. And this is going to take my physical world and the structure of my reality higher. And I think today's very positive for that. And we're going to see the moon also finish off the day with a trine over to Saturn in Aquarius. So both Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius are getting a lot of action these days. Like, there's something about not knowing how everything's going to work out, but peeling back enough to be responsible for how you can connect and what maybe needs to be disconnected from, that will actually make you feel better or have the pivot and give you the experience. Because I think so much of life is about the experience and being open for it. And we're kind of shifting a new slide of what's stable and secure in an unstable and not very secure world looks like. The more we can be emotionally confident and even have a mental depth to us, the more truth we're going to find. And maybe it's not the most comfortable. Maybe it is. Maybe you're ready for the pivot in life. Maybe you're ready to kind of like take the radical road. Some people are, some people aren't. That's the fact of the matter. And it's okay either way. There really is no right or wrong way to go about an individual life. Like, we're all experiencing and learning right now. But it's about really learning about yourself and having visions that are based on what that truth of self is, and loving yourself through the process, so that we can go deeper, go farther, go higher, while simultaneously realizing that we're in a place of time right now where just because we thought it was the thing, or we thought it was going to connect all the dots, that value might shift, and we have to be okay with changes. And that's going to help us get through it, especially on a day like this, coming off some very intense energy. It's still going to feel like a full moon for sure, and the sun's getting close to the south node, which is in Sagittarius, and we're going to see that sun ingress into Sag on Sunday evening. So we're all dealing with like shining a light on some of these collective beliefs and some karma about the vision of sort of this one truth of reality, while getting our own independent truth locked down and understanding what that is on a very deep psychological, mental, emotional level, and being youthful about it. I'm here. No matter how old we are, like, we kind of got to be like, yeah, I haven't experienced this world yet. How can I make the pivots and changes to get the experience that I ultimately, from a deep place, do desire? Sending you all my best, of course. Hope you're doing very well. What a time to be alive. Card for the day is the Six of Cups in reverse. You know, the past is the past. We can have good memories. We can go back in time and relive parts that we really valued from this physical world. And I think that's perfectly fine, but we still have to be youthful enough to create new memories, to create new visions, new feel-good moments in life. And maybe that's where the ultimate fulfillment is. And maybe that's where we find solace, is instead of being like, gosh, I wish it was like it used to be, well, coming into the truth of the matter now and being like, well, what can it be moving forward? We got that because the Empress reversed. We gotta love ourselves. We gotta find our creative potential and that spark of knowing that we can nurture ourselves and really bring in what's gonna make us feel good. And we don't wanna lose that. That's so important. And I think that it is kind of difficult because we're trying radical new things and maybe radical new ways of relating to others and ourselves. But we can come to a place today where realizing that the change is actually what could bring the most feel-good energy. And it's not so much about just the belief of the matter, but it's about the deep understanding of what that belief is. And are you willing to do what it takes to make it possible? I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Friday. I'll see you for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Peace.